This video is powered by BetUS. Caleb Williams just threw for the most yards of any Bears quarterback since 2016, when Brian Hoyer would throw for 397 yards. In fact, it was the 11th most yards a Bears quarterback has ever thrown for in a single game, just missing cracking the top 10. But think about that. This franchise has been around over 100 years, and Caleb Williams just threw for the 11th most yards ever by a Bears quarterback in his third career start. And yet all I hear fans talking about is how he's a bust and that Justin Fields is currently 3-0. This is crazy, and I was a guy who was called a Justin fan and not a Bears fan for simply suggesting that we could trade the number 1 pick this offseason and build this offensive line. Now there are so many fans and media out there talking about how we should have built the offensive line, and now it seems like people are obsessed with Justin Fields. I told you guys for 3 straight years that we could win in the NFL with Justin Fields. He's proving that on the Steelers, but he's still not doing the things that Caleb Williams can do. Justin is in his 4th year in the NFL, and he's never passed for 363 yards in a game. Caleb just did that in his 3rd career start, and he was still overthrowing guys in this one. But turning the ball over 3 times in a game, that is something that Justin did plenty of times. As a matter of fact, he's turned the ball over 5 times in a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers his rookie season. So it's just hypocritical to hate on Caleb Williams for his 3 turnovers, but then try to bring up Justin Fields, who's turned the ball over a ton in his career as well. So let's just stop the Justin Fields talk and support our rookie quarterback. We do want Justin Fields to start 9 games for the Steelers and get us the 4th round pick, and I do wish him well in Pittsburgh, but that's it. Caleb Williams is our quarterback, and he has 3 career starts under his belt, and he's already thrown for more yards in a game than any Bears quarterback has since 2016. More yards in a game than Mitch Trubisky or Justin Fields have ever thrown. In fact, only 8 Bears quarterbacks have ever thrown for more yards than Caleb Williams did today. And I don't even think this was a great game for Caleb. He's not going to tell you it's a great game. Nobody's saying Caleb had a great game today, yet he still threw for 363 yards. He made plenty of mistakes today, and I'm not making excuses for his turnovers. He has to protect the football better, but he's a rookie quarterback. I expected this. In fact, I talked about it all off-season as well. Rookie quarterbacks simply take time to adjust in the NFL. That's just a fact, but anytime I said it's unrealistic to put Patrick Mahomes or CJ Stroud expectations on this guy, people would call me a hater. But I've always expected Caleb to struggle early on. But I'm also confident that he will be the best quarterback in Bears history. Also, I want to do a special thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Use code YouTube150 to get a 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Head over to betus.com now. BetUS is my sportsbook and casino. It takes time to develop a rookie quarterback. But one thing I am happy about, as much as everyone is hating on Shane Waldron right now, I think throwing the ball and passing is how you develop a quarterback. And we're finally at least doing that the right way. In Justin Fields' first 3 career starts, he only threw the ball a total of 50 times, averaging about 15 throws a game. Caleb threw the ball more today in 1 start than Justin did in his first 3 games combined. So we're at least giving him a chance to develop instead of just having him hand the ball off 40 times a game. In fact, even in Justin's 2nd year, the year Getsy was here, he only threw the ball 45 times combined in his first 3 starts. You guys remember that? He was throwing the ball 11 times, 17 times a game, averaging about 15 passing attempts a game. Waldron would give Caleb Williams 52 opportunities today, and these reps matter. That is how a quarterback develops. He needs reps like this to get better. Then he can go back to the film room, look at what he did wrong, and actually develop as a quarterback. Caleb actually had more opportunities than that today because a couple of plays were called back to penalties, and he took 4 sacks, but he had 52 passing attempts. 52. and he dropped back at least 58 times today. 58 total dropbacks, and he made 3 mistakes. 3 big mistakes, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. But to me, you have to take the positive away from this, and throwing the ball and developing Caleb Williams is what we need to do to get this offense on track. I'm glad that Waldron at least has the guts to go out there and call pass plays, unlike what Luke Getsy did for Justin Fields. So I'm not out on Shane Waldron yet either. I think he has called too many screen passes, but we have to remember, calling screens is how you counter the blitz. But it seems like he does have confidence in Caleb Williams, and that's something I think we can take as a positive today. Yes, today's loss was gut-wrenching, and it feels like we all got punched in the stomach. But we might actually be developing a real quarterback here, guys. Let's give this dude some time to develop. The overreactions have just been insane. The media's ready to burn it all down. A lot of fans have already given up on Caleb Williams and are even throwing Ryan Poles under the bus after 3 games with a new offensive coordinator and a rookie quarterback. In the words of Aaron Rodgers here, let's relax. Today was an awful loss. We had every opportunity to win this game, and we just couldn't get it done. 2 drives that ended at the 1-yard line, just 6 feet away from scoring 14 more points. Can we talk about that for a second? Just a couple feet away from 14 more points. On a day when we scored 16 points, this team was so close to putting up 30 plus points on the day. They had a missed field goal and finished just a yard short of the end zone on 2 separate drives. And then Matt Eberflus. I have to talk about him for a minute as well. What are you doing with the timeouts, man? A couple of questionable decisions by Matt Eberflus in this one. In fact, he made another one late in the game as well, but the Colts bailed us out by calling a fair catch on the kickoff. Having to waste the timeout after a touchdown because you sent the extra point unit out when you wanted to go for 2, you have to have more awareness in that situation. Matt Eberflus had a bad game. As well as making some questionable calls on the sideline, the defense also allowed the first 2 TDs of the season after halftime, just disappointing. But the worst thing I saw all game might have been jumping off sides on 4th and 2 when the Colts were about to punt. Daniel Hardy, you cannot do that, but it did look like the Colts long snapper flinched, so I did want to mention that. It probably should have been a false start on the Colts, but no way anyone can blame this loss on the refs, as the Colts had 9 penalties for 78 total yards. The Bears controlled the time of possession by a full 10 minutes in this one, missing a long field goal, coming up short on a 4th and goal, and then having a Hail Mary get caught by DJ Moore at the 1-yard line. I'm losing my voice, but it was a roller coaster of a game with a brutal loss at the end. Even after everything that happened, though, we still had a chance to win this game. If we could just stop the Colts from getting a first down, but Jonathan Taylor gashed us again, icing this game. He ran for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Taylor is one of the best running backs in the league, though, so you have to give him a little bit of credit. I thought overall we did a pretty good job containing him. But what about us? DeAndre Swift has been a huge disappointment. I hate to knock on a guy named Swift, but he was awful today as a runner. I do give him a little bit of credit for catching 2 passes for 22 yards, but he was awful on the ground, running the ball 13 times for 20 total yards and losing 12 yards on a 4th and goal from the 1. On the season, he has 37 carries for 68 yards, averaging a pathetic 1.8 yards per carry. Roschon Johnson has been better. He picked up 30 yards on just 8 carries today. Roschon should be more involved in this offense. I said all offseason he should be RB2, but today he made a case that maybe he should even be RB1 over Swift. But I will add that our run blocking has just been bad. And overall, this game comes down to a missed opportunity for the Bears. They simply did not execute, and they did not take advantage of the opportunities they had. But even more importantly, though, I think we finally have our franchise quarterback. Yes, he turned the ball over 3 times today, but he also settled down and led us to 2 late 4th quarter touchdowns. And if Matt Eberflus hadn't wasted our timeouts, I was confident that he could take us down the field and win this game. And then you add in the fact that as a passer, he had the 5th most passing yards I've ever witnessed in my life as a Bears fan watching someone quarterback this team. Half of those performances ahead of him in the top 10 happened last century. Caleb definitely showed some promise, and a lot of people were worried about him overthrowing receivers in his first couple of games. He missed a couple of shots early in this one too, but he really seemed dialed in once we hit the fourth quarter, throwing his first 2 career touchdown passes. Look, it's going to be a bumpy road with a rookie quarterback. I talked about it all offseason long. If we just wanted to win the first few games of the season, then maybe we should have kept Justin Fields. But I want to win a Super Bowl. And it's important to have a little bit of patience with a rookie quarterback, and I have full faith that Ryan Poles made the right decision. And if you're going to harp on Caleb's 3 turnovers, you at least have to acknowledge the special traits he brings to the table. His arm talent, his lightning quick release that I showed off on film this week. He simply has one of the fastest releases in all the NFL. Being able to get the ball out in just a 1/10 of a second is absolutely ridiculous. And once this guy gets comfortable, he is going to destroy the Bears' record books and finally give us our franchise quarterback. Let's just be patient here, guys. We are 1-2, and we still have 4 games against bad teams to get this offense rolling. This loss really hurt, but at least our offense took a good first step, finally getting Caleb Williams not only his first career touchdown pass, but also his first career 300-plus yard game. Now it's time to start winning football games. The offense started to put things together today. 420 total yards, 363 passing from our rookie quarterback. They are starting to put things together here. If our offense can continue taking steps forward and we can eliminate the turnovers, this team can start winning football games and actually be competitive. I'm always going to be rooting for the Bears quarterback, and all Bears fans should be pulling for Caleb Williams. Quick shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. Let me know how you guys are feeling after this tough loss. I appreciate everyone who stopped by. Please hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. I have a ton more content on the way. And until next time, bear down.